spoke about before, there's always going to be factors that you got to take into account. There have been 2 very large gold finds across the planet in the last 90 Earth days. There's been massive oil finds across the planet as well. We know about what's off of corporate Namibia, and we know what's off of corporate, quote-unquote, Argentina. Both of those fields are large. Both of them will take time to be tapped. It'll take time to get the oil coming in to market from those particular fields. I know a lot of folks don't get the connection still after all these years, that no matter how many times they're informed, it's not how much oil is available, the quote-unquote drill baby drill crew. There's plenty of oil being made available. It's the refining capacity that's not being expanded. Therein lies the issue. You can have all the oil, however, if you don't have the refining capacity to make it into jet fuel, aka kerosene, if you don't have the capacity to make it into diesel fuel, if you have the capacity to make it into various grades or octane levels of gasoline, spring and summer mixtures, autumn and winter mixtures, that lack of capacity is why it costs so much for gasoline at the pump all across the planet. If you're in a place where you're paying for the fuel by the liter as opposed to paying for it by the gallon, you feel it even more. So as a result of these things, if you thread that needle properly, you will see a decrease at the pump, maybe in 2 or 3 Earth years from now. Now, things are going to be inflationary for other factors. Again, the demand for oil is gradually decreasing. There's more and more vessels that operate on fuel cell technology. There's more and more of these vessels that are operating that have what they call EV technology. As a result of that EV technology, when you're over 40 million, quote-unquote, sold across the planet. Now, we do know some of them that have been, quote-unquote, sold have been sitting in fields doing nothing because parties who produced them were padding their numbers. They were heavily subsidized to begin with, and the jurisdiction and venue where they were produced are buying some of these, registering some of these, and putting them in the field, not even being used. They're just padding the numbers, trying to say that their sales are at a particular level that they really and truly are not. Just the same, there is a fair amount of EVs out there now being used across the planet. There's a fair amount of electric trucks now coming online. And now they are making yachts that are electric. They're making boats that are electric. And they're working on certifying planes that run on electric power. Again, decreasing the demand for oil, which is why parties have not been interested in increasing refining capacity, because they're looking to go all electric, and not for any altruistic reason, not anything that is friendly towards the environment. That's the cover story. They know full well that there's far more funds in electrical power generation to recharge the batteries on these EVs. That's big funds for them, where parties are spending the equivalent of 60 to 70 quote-unquote US in silver or gold to get 81 minutes of charging. Not even an hour and a half, 81 minutes. 81 minutes of charging may get them a little more range. However, on average, these EVs are doing between 300 and 600 miles of range. One brand right now is producing a vessel that gets 525 range. Some are saying 600. The reality is, very few of those are being moved because of the price range. The price point on those are exceedingly high. So parties are being scammed before their eyes and don't even get what's happening to them, because you have a particular party who produces the most EVs on the planet in terms of, no longer, they got bumped off there. They're number 2 now in the providing of EVs across the planet. But they're number 1 with charging stations. And everyone's getting adapters for their vessels to use that particular entity's charging stations. They know the funds, the profits are in the charging.